Welcome to today's edition of Mental Health Matters. Today, we're going to be talking about fear. I have Diana Garcia on the show, and we're going to break down how fear affects your mental health. Get you something to drink, get you a snack, and come on back. Good morning. Gracias, Diana.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Got up this morning, worked out a little bit. I didn't really go to the gym because the gym opened at 7. I just kind of did some little push-ups and sit-ups and treadmill, did that around the house. So, but then after this, I'm gonna go to the gym. So,
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Oh, cool. Did you like that extra hour of sleep?
Oh, yes, I did. And let me tell you what's crazy because I went to the gas station this morning to get me a Powerade, I mean a Gatorade, and on my dashboard it has the time, and I'm like, "Oh crap. It's such time." But I realized, okay, I need to set my clock in my car because I thought it was later than what it actually was.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I love that extra hour of sleep. Always thankful for that.
Yeah, I always do it a day before, and then that way it doesn't catch me off guard. Change all the
Smart.
clocks.
Yeah, very, very, very smart. So, Donna, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and we can just dive right into it?
My name's Diana Garcia. I work with the homeless community in Placer and Nevada counties, and currently I work for a nonprofit, and I oversee the housing coordinators um, on the nonprofit team. And I've been working with the homeless community and the disabled and senior community probably for about 8 years now.
Yeah,
So maybe closer to 10. I don't know. You know how all the years blend in.
yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. And you do a good job. So I want to read the definition of fear that says it's an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. And I'm glad we kind of came up with this topic when we were talking the other day. This actually was birthed through my fear of spiders and any type of insect. I just can't do it. I see an insect and I'm immediately like, it just grosses me out you know. And so I don't know why I'm like that, but I've always been like that. Grew up very, very poor with rats and roaches in the house as a kid, and I was never ever ever comfortable with that. Now as an adult, I don't have to, live like that. So when I do see like a spider or something, I immediately starts to overreact. And I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I have a shirt next to me or one of my shoes or a towel, whatever. I'm grabbing the first thing that I see to kill it.
Oh,
You
poor
know.
insect.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not even going to hurt you.
Yeah. It's funny because there was someone that I know who um I guess it was a rat in their house and their significant other caught the rat, and I think my friend was trying to get their significant other to not kill the rat. Right.
I think I know who you're talking about. And
Right.
what happened was those glue
Yeah.
traps.
Yes.
And I strongly suggested that they don't use those because it
Yeah.
doesn't kill them.
Yeah.
And so they're stuck
Yeah.
and they're looking at you,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
not going to die until they die of starvation or lack of water.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing because I remember the first time I saw one of those glue traps in a place
Yeah.
that I worked, and I was so pissed because it's like, what am I going to do with this? This thing is still alive, and it chewed off its foot, and it was still
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
And they're all, you have to go kill it, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not killing this. So
Yeah.
they took it out and killed it for me, but it was at work. But still, I was really appalled because, if you're going to kill it, but
Right.
don't make
Right.
it suffer.
Right. Right. And
And
I
that same person, every time a rat was being killed, she was naming them. I'm like,
right.
why are you naming them? What
Right.
is wrong with you?
And Dan was upset and wanted to bury. I was like, no. What is wrong?
So you
No
see that
way.
person go to the other side, deathly afraid, and then having compassion over
Right.
those rodents that are destroying her house.
Oh yeah, no, no way, zero compassion, zero. I told this story about maybe like three. I want to say about 3 weeks ago. My brother had the garage open, and the garage door that to leads into the house. He had that open. A bird flew in here. Now I didn't. So I live in a two-story. I had no clue that a bird flew in the house. So me and my brother, we sitting downstairs, and we chilling. So I hear this thumping sound upstairs, right? And I wasn't really paying attention like that. But I'm like, okay, And he's like, you hear that sound? I'm like, yeah. But I'm thinking it's down. I'm thinking it's maybe something to add it or whatever. But I'm just, it wasn't a concern to me. Even though I'm downstairs watching TV, I'm hearing this, but I didn't think it was really nothing. So come and find out, my cousin texted me and told me he came in late that night that a bird was in his room on the shades. Let me tell you something. I was so, first of all, I was very uncomfortable. The second thing I thought was if I would have walked in his room and saw that bird, the first thing I would have been trying to do was get a broom and kill it. Literally, I would have been banging the wall and all that. But what he was smart enough to do, he said, I said, well, what did you have to get it out of that? And he was like, I just opened up, raised the blinds up and opened the window and it flew out. I wouldn't have never thought to do that though. Because I'm trying to,
Your thing is kill,
yeah,
find,
immediately.
destroy, and kill.
Yes, exactly. Because of that fear,
Uh,
you
Even
know.
birds.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. In my home, yes.
But not out in the wild. If you see one, you're
No,
not thinking,
no.
I need to kill it,
No, 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 not at all. Not at all.
even after it pooped all over your car.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, no. But in my home, yes. Yeah, anything yeah. I
Anything
can't,
that's not paying rent, they need to leave.
right, pretty much. I tell you another story. I ended up, because a lot of times I leave my garage door open. I just let the fresh air get in there. And one day I ended up leaving it open. And I promise you, this is so crazy. A rat literally came in the garage right where you entered at, literally came in my garage and died.
Wow.
Literally came in there and died. It's like it just came there to die. When I saw that thing, I jumped so quick. My heart was beating fast. So my first thing, well, so of course I ran back in the house, right? Closed the
Screamy, screamy.
yeah, closed the entrance to the company house and garage. I locked that. Went out the front door. Of course, I when I went out the front door, I walked across the street because it would just gross me out. So I got to knocking on neighbors' doors, and a few of them didn't answer. And so my one neighbor answered. It was a older lady, and I asked her, I said, "Is your husband home?" And she said, "Oh yeah, let me get him." She asked me to come in and offer me some water and stuff like that. And then she said, "May I ask what you need to talk to them about so I can let them know?" I said, "To be honest with you, I said there was a rat died in my garage, and I want to see if he could get it out of my garage for me." That old lady started laughing. She said, "That's it?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, I could take care of that for you." That lady put on her gloves, got a plastic bag, literally walked over and got that rat. I gave her $50 for that. I paid her $50. I did. I really did. It was just the thought, the fear, the thought. I was so uncomfortable mentally that this rat is here. And then she was so nice. She went a step further after she got the rat through the way. She came over and she cleaned that area where the rat had died at. True story.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Man, so it's anything that crawls. It sounds like you don't like anything that crawls. Anything
N-
that's not supposed to be there. An invasive species.
Yeah, girl, I
In your
can't do
home.
it. I can. Oh,
What
I
about
can't do it.
lizards? Do lizards bother you?
Yes, they do bother me, and so that's another thing that gets in my garage too. I don't know. I think it those are little lizards. They're very small,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and when you
they
open
wiggle
it,
around.
yes. So I had called one of my Ukrainian friends to come over here one day and get that thing out the garage. Sure did. I just I can't do it. Like I literally mentally I cannot. I just can't deal with it.
So
Zero.
the first thing you want to do is just kill it.
Yes, 100%, and one and gone.
Well,
I
especially
wanted.
lizards because they kill the bugs. So if you kill the lizards, then your bugs that are invading your house are gonna get more. They're gonna get a lot.
My train of thought is not thinking that. I just want the thing gone. Period.
No, you want it dead, Jesse. Let's be true about this.
Yes,
You just want it
yes.
dead now.
Gone, gone. Even if it's a lot, I need it out of my space. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I am. But let's talk about this. So, um, have you so are there fears or phobias that you deal with, or fears or phobias that you know someone deal with that you know that's extreme?
Well, a lot of time, with the clients, past clients that I've worked with, have a hard time getting. It, I'm not sure what the phobia is called, but they can't leave their place. They
Mm-hmm.
can't leave their house. Um, is it agoraphobia? There's a phobia where they can't leave,
Right,
and if they go outside of their door, they freak out. They
right,
can't they can't cope with being in the outside world.
right.
So that's I've come across that a lot with the people that I've worked with in the past. And
Yeah,
that's really hard, especially if somebody's getting evicted.
yeah,
If somebody's getting evicted and it's like, you have to go someplace else,
yeah, yeah,
because of whatever the circumstances are, you have to find another place.
yeah,
Uh, and that's been a big thing that I found out in the community that I work with.
yeah.
In my family, I have people that are, well, this is kind of terrible. My mom, bless her, she's going.
Yeah.
She was afraid of bridges.
Oh,
She
really?
was really afraid of bridges, and a lot of times she had to travel for work, so I'd have to take her a lot of times to San Francisco Airport. So we'd
Yeah.
have to go over the Bay Bridge,
Yes.
and this was probably maybe 5 6 months after the earthquake that happened, and they repaired it all, and they
Mm-hmm.
were a process because some of the bridge came in, it fell into the bay. So she was really having a hard time. Um, she knew she had to get over that bridge, but I had to take her over that bridge. And I feel bad about it thinking back, but I was just trying to use humor to help her,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, behind us the bridge parts are coming down, but we made it. We're safe.
Yeah.
I mean, she was starting to hyperventilate. I'm like, oh my gosh, mom, I am just kidding. She goes,
Yeah.
and she's hanging on because she thinks we're
Yeah.
going to go in the bay. And I'm like, mom, it's safe. We're okay. We're almost
Yeah.
there. And then I
Yeah.
felt, oh my gosh, I shouldn't. I was trying to use the humor, but it kind of backfired.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're good. We're almost
Yeah.
there. And we just kind of talked it through and we got over to the other side. But there's a lot of people afraid of bridges.
Yeah. I
Have
am one of them.
are you're afraid of bridges too?
100%. What's the San Francisco Bay Bridge? Whenever, and I'm telling, whenever I go to San Francisco and I know we're about to hit that entrance point, I immediately just inwardly start to have anxiety. Another thing I notice about myself when that happens too is my body's tense. It gets tense, and then whoever I'm driving with, I always ask them, not to drive on the side where you can see the all the water, 100%. And it's always been like that, even to this day. I just, yeah,
Wow. Yeah, because that's a big barrier with a lot of people is the
yeah,
bridges.
yeah.
Because I have some older aunts and uncles, and I have an aunt. She won't go. She won't travel if there's a bridge.
Oh, yeah,
And it's like, wow, that's terrible. Because there's been some family functions, and my aunt and uncle don't go, especially if
yeah,
it's in the Bay Area. And they're like, she's like, no, I can't do it. She can't fly either, but
yeah,
it's like, man, that's such a terrible barrier because wherever we go in the United States, if you're driving, there's
yeah,
going to be a bridge.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, my uncle said, my aunt, she gets so bad as she starts hyperventilating.
I believe
She's
that.
on, she has to take the seatbelt on and be on the floor.
Yeah, I
And I'm
believe that.
like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I can't
I
even
believe that.
imagine.
I believe that. I'm like that when it comes to like the mountains. When it's come to going to Reno and stuff, I'm telling you, I don't know. They just look like in my mind, it was just they look like giants. And it just the whole and the scenery is beautiful, don't get me wrong. But it's just I don't know. I just feel like a form of fear, claustrophobic, like it's so weird.
Does it
And
feel like everything's going to fall on you?
no, not like that. It's just that they're so huge and big.
Hmm.
Like they're just like all the way up there, and you see them on either side, and it just I don't know. My body does not respond well to that at all. Zero. And I don't know. And it's always been like that. The first time I found out that I had a fear of mountains is when I moved to California and we drove from Illinois and I think we entered I want to say like Idaho somewhere. What that was it. That was it for me. Because when we start as it started elevating and I just was looking ahead because you could see ahead as these big old mountains, my body just started tensing up. I found myself clutching my steering wheel. I
Oh,
found
you
my
were driving.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
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 dang.
yeah. Oh, full blown like anxiety attack, full blown. Like, but it gradually didn't happen like boom right away. It gradually happened as we got into the mountains, and I called because my cousin was driving in front of me and I was in back, and I called my cousin. I said, "Man, I'm not okay," and da da da. He was asking me what was going on, and I was like, "Man, I don't know." He said, "But I said, no, 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 no. We cannot pull over here. I couldn't do it." And I
That would have
just
been it. I think that probably would have been worse.
it would have 100% been worse. And we just, I said, well, just slow down. And he kind of slowed down. And then I had to look. Well, one of the things I did too, I put on my sunglasses, and I had to look straight. I couldn't look to the left or the right. It had to be just straight. And yeah, it was bad. And that's when I learned I had a fear of mountains. Cause I'd never been in the mountains before in my life.
Wow. That's a
Yeah.
terrible place to find out, especially when you're driving.
Yeah, yeah, and check this out. It was so bad. So you know how when I'm in California now and I'm acclimated to California, right? I ended up going to what was that? Oh my God, what was that? I want to say Oakland or somewhere around there, right? So you know how as you going down that way, you kind of like going up in the hills a little bit.
Hmm.
They're not mountains at all, okay?
No, they're little hills.
Right. I had an anxiety attack my first time going there because it brought back my remembrance of the Idaho situation.
Well,
Yeah,
what about the tunnels that they have over there on a couple of the freeways, especially in the East Bay? They have tunnels that you have to go through,
yeah,
and they build it through the hills. Does
yeah,
that bother you too?
at 100%, 100. It's just I don't know why I'm like this. And it's like I can't help it. Like I can't control the fear or I can't control it. And mentally, I've did some self-talk. Like okay, it's gonna be okay, and breathe. And this is what I'm telling myself, right? None of that works. Zero. None of that works.
Well, they say when you have a fear of something, you have to do it over and over again so you can move past it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people, they can't even take that first step to try to do that if they are known they're going to be thrown in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I have a cousin right now. We're supposed to go on a trip to Hawaii next year, and
Wow.
she's deathly afraid of flying.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because if you have too many cocktails, they won't let you on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you know what? You gotta get something from your doctor because
Yeah.
that's not like going to Las Vegas from California.
Right.
That is, you're going over the ocean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's it's a long flight. I think it's like
Yeah.
5 hours or something, some god awful a
Yeah.
time, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to breathe through that, and you can't have a full blown anxiety attack while you're in the air.
Right.
That's not going to work. So I
Yeah.
know there's medications you can take so you can get through that, but
Yeah.
still, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine being that afraid of something.
Diana,
Um, I the only thing that startles me but doesn't make me afraid are rattlesnakes.
okay. Oh
The
yeah.
reason for the rattlesnakes, and I still do this when I walk through a doorway. When I worked at Aerojet, I was a computer program there for about 10 years. The door jams were because I
Uh-huh.
worked in a lab. So there was temperature control. It was the same temperature all the time, but they had like these airlock areas as you walk in. Well, one summer I'm doing overtime. I'm working with quality gauge engineers doing some projects. I go and I'm the only one going into the lab. There's nobody there because it's a Saturday. I go to walk over the door jams and I had a box with me and I put the box down and all of a sudden by the box and it was dark. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the frick was that?
Yeah.
It was baby rattlesnakes trying to bite the box because I almost put it on top of them.
Wow.
I had
Wow.
the keys in the door, and I went running through the tool inspection lab, which was scary because they have these big slabs and tools everywhere, and
Yeah.
they just have the night lights on because I'm the only one going there. I run through the lab. I mean, if it was the Olympics, I think I would have won the mad dash because
I know that's right. Yeah.
I went all the way around the whole building, which was really big. And I was like, okay, so what am I going to do now? Because my keys, which are my car keys too, are in the door, and there's rattlesnakes right there in the door entry, and there's nobody there.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And so I walked over to because there was a maintenance road, and one of the
Okay.
maintenance guys came by, and I flagged him down, and he's all, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I think there's rattlesnakes inside the door entry. He goes, oh yeah, they're all over the place.
Wow.
And I'm like, because you're out there in the middle of where there's a lot of rocks and stuff, so
Yeah.
they're out there in abundance. And he goes, oh, is this your first time? I'm like, you know what, sir? I know you're trying to be a little funny, but I got my keys right there, and I just want my keys. I just want to go home.
Right. Right.
And he was laughing, and he went over there, and he got rid of the babies, and he killed them all, and then he killed the mama because the mama was there too.
Wow.
And it was a big. It must have been about 6 feet. It was big. It was a
Wow.
big rattlesnake, and he killed it. And he's all, "Do you want the rattle?" And I'm like, no.
Right.
I just want my keys. I just want to go home.
That's
So
it.
so then, and he was, he's like, oh, okay, they're good to eat and everything. I'm like, no, sir, thank you for killing it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I said, can you wait by the door while I go put my stuff away in the office? And he did. He was laughing. I mean, he was really nice about it, but it was like, wow. So now, whenever I look through a door jam or walk through a door jam, I look
Yeah.
because they can't control their temperature. The snakes can't. And
Yeah.
so if it's hot, they're looking for someplace to cool down. So
Oh.
they hang out in the door jam. Not to bring another phobia to you, but because there's good snakes too. There's garden snakes, and there's all kinds of snakes that we have here. Gopher snakes that help with the rat and mice population. And
Yeah.
I grew up out in the country, so snakes don't bother me, but
Yeah.
rattlesnakes do.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Another thing that bothers me a lot. I'm afraid of heights. Now,
Oh no.
oh, yeah, let me tell you how bad that is. I don't know if you ever, so we have one of the properties at, and I could just say this, at one of our apartment complex in Auburn. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's where they have the townhouse and you have to walk upstairs in order to get to the townhouse or whatever. Down and it's not far down, but I literally have anxiety when I go over there to visit.
Really?
Bad, real
Even
bad.
that? That's not very high.
It listen to me, even to the point, because some of the staff noticed that even to the point. So when we go upstairs, I always try to tell them to like knock on the door and let the person open the door so I can just go straight in. Okay. Now I found out that about myself when I started first working there, when I had to go and just introduce myself and stuff. It was bad. It was so bad. I had to like run like down back where the stairs at until the client opened the door. I literally just started having an anxiety attack. To
Wow.
I promise you I'm not lying. And to me, and it's not that far off the ground, but when
Yeah,
I
I was
look,
gonna say I know that complex. It's not that far.
yes, but when I look uh off, down from where I am, it just and that's one of the reasons I do not go over there to this day. I ain't been over there in a while.
Well, does it make your world spin?
Yes, I do get a little bit dizzy. Yes.
Yeah, because I've
Yes.
noticed because I have a client. I'm a client, a cousin. We did something called a muck fest.
Hmm.
It's when you go through mud and it's like a and you run and you crawl and you're in the mud. It's a fundraiser for the MS Society, and me and my a bunch of cousins we went, and the last part of the venue, so to speak, is you have to climb up 3 stories and then you jump
Hmm.
onto this big cushion, and then you've completed the race. One of my
Wow.
cousins, we because we were doing it together, and we got up to the top, and I'm like, okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, and I jumped because I'm like, ooh, how fun! I look up and she's still standing there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my gosh! And I could tell by her face she was distraught, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what happened? So I ran back up there, cut through all the people, and I'm like, what's wrong? Because they had the people that were helping the volunteers. They're like, I think she's having an anxiety attack, and I mean, I've known her since I can remember. I mean, we were like 10 and a half months apart,
Hmm.
and I'm like, what is the matter? And
Yeah.
she's all, I can't jump. Don't
Yeah.
make me jump. I'm like, no one's gonna make you jump. And she was
Yeah.
hyperventilating and
Yeah.
sweating,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, let's go back down. Let's go back
Yeah.
down because you have to climb up this ladder. I go, we'll do it together. I'll be behind you. We'll
Hmm.
just do one step at a time. And people got off the ladder and let us go down. But
Yeah.
it was I never seen somebody so scared of heights. And she
Yeah.
didn't even know that she was afraid of heights.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Never had that inkling at all. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that just kind of went on like that. And
Yeah.
I was thinking, geez, because
Yeah.
that and thankfully nothing like that's ever happened to me where something stops me and I can't do it because of the situation,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
heights or bugs or rats
Yeah.
or I mean the snakes. I just look to make sure there's nothing I'm going to step on, but it doesn't make me. It doesn't stop me from doing something.
Oh,
And for to be stopped,
yeah.
not to move forward to whatever you're trying to do,
I,
I can't even imagine that.
I went to one of the San Francisco. I even got pictures on my phone to this day. My brother, he to this day we laugh about this. We ended up going to a San Francisco Giants game, and the seats were high up.
Yeah.
Diana, let me tell you something. So I was good. I was good. They had like the hallway area, maybe about food and stuff. The moment that I entered where the seats were, immediately it's this anxiety and fear. So I'm like, okay. But what I told myself, I said, because we had bought these tickets, and I'm like, okay, with my brother, I said, I'm gonna try to tough this out and see what I can do. So and if you, I don't know if you've been to the baseball game, the seats are very thin and the
Yep.
walkway into the when you walk through seats are very thin as well.
Yeah.
So we walking. As each step I take, it literally felt like I was gonna literally pass out.
Oh my
Literally.
gosh.
And my brother, he was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Man," I said, "Man, I'm just getting hyped." Da, da, da. I'm talking to him and stuff. And he's like, "Okay, well, let's just get to the seats." But I'm moving slow. Because I feel like if I make any momentum in my movement like that, in a faster way and in that fast pace, I feel like I'm just, going to just pass out. So we finally get to the seat. I sat down there. I looked down on the field. I could not do it. I was stuck. I was
Like,
literally
oh,
stuck in a full-blown panic attack. So my brother's on the right of me, somebody else is on the other side of me, and it was a lady. She said, "You okay?" I said, "No, I do not like heights." And so I'm walking them through. I told him, I said, well, I said, Jeremiah, listen to me. I said, listen to me. I said, I'm going to pass out. I need you to help me get back to the hallway. And he said, okay. And he said, what you want me to do? So I told the lady to the left of me, I said, I need you also to help me. So the lady that was on the left of me, she stood up, okay? I had my hands on her shoulder, and my brother in back of me with his hands on my shoulder as well. So I had my hands on her shoulder, he had his hands on my shoulder because that brought a little bit of comfort because I felt like I was gonna literally, like I was just gonna pass out and just fall over. It was that bad.
wow.
So the lady in front of me, who I had my hands on her shoulder, of course she, because I kept closing my eyes and open them up, and because I'm focusing on my feet now, and I'm looking down, trying not to, and we was moving so slow. The people that got up in front of us, they actually, because it was so thin that we would have been stepping on. They literally got up. All these
Mhm.
people got up, and we walking so slow. They had to get me up out of there. The moment I got in the hallway, it all left. It all
Wow.
left. It all left.
Wow.
True story.
That's debilitating.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
totally debilitating. Don't
It,
go to a Kings game then.
uh, well, I've been to.
Because they have the real high
Yeah,
uh and those, oh my gosh. It looks like you're looking down a
yeah.
cliff.
Well,
It's
I've been to Kings game, but my seats were like very close to the floor,
yeah,
super close to the floor.
you don't want to
Yeah,
do any of that because that's you're looking down.
yeah, yeah.
They're
And
stacked.
I just I don't know. Even like now, I live in a two-story home. Live right now, I could see it right there. I cannot. So when I come out of my room, like when you go upstairs, my room is the first one to the right. I cannot. And I got a big old hallway window. I cannot go and stand there and look downstairs. I cannot.
Wow.
When I come out of my room, I this is every day, all the time. I grab the rail, and that's how I come down. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And
I'm
why would
surprised you
somebody?
moved into a two-story.
Right, exactly. True story. It's just is, and I've tried to like talk myself through. I've mentally, and so there's times when so I took my brother to Hawaii not too long ago, but 3 or 4 years ago, whenever it was, and so we got on this boat ride. Wrong move, right? Did not know, okay, because the water, the whole thing. Man,
Oh,
don't people?
seasickness?
No, not even seasickness. It was the fact that the large body of water, that thing scared. It was so much fear. And so when you go and stuff, you get they put you go up, and then you go in this area that had like a lot of tables. They're selling food and drinks and all that
Uh-huh.
stuff, right? And then there's an entrance out where you can go on the deck, where you could sit. They got chairs out there, and then you can see the water. So still didn't know that this was going to happen, right? So we go on. We didn't go out immediately out into like the deck, because we bought some food and we sitting there chilling. And he said, "Oh, bro, let's go out there, sit outside." Girl, I got out there. Matter of fact, I think I got maybe like to where the chair was, and I'm looking at all this water. I was like, "Whoa!" He said, what's wrong? I said, no, 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 no. I said, listen, because he know when I get serious. I'm like, no, listen to me, because I know what's going on with me. I said, bro, you have to walk. I said, walk me back in there, please. He's like, bro. I said, walk me back in there now, okay? And so my thing, I had his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward, looking down, and he walked. Dude, it was just bad, and I felt bad because it was his birthday. That was one of his birthday, functions
Uh-huh.
that eventually we want to do, and he couldn't enjoy it. And I told him, I said, well, go back out there. He said, no, I'm not gonna leave you in here. Once I got in, I was cool. But he likes oh, sitting up there. I couldn't do none of that down. And he's like, I'm gonna take some pictures. No, I could. And so he asked some of the people that was out there to take pictures of him out there on the rail. No, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
So
And
then let me ask you this. You do roller coasters?
no, no. Let me tell you, I'm telling you, I got a story for this. This is a true story. I think the last time I was on a roller coaster, I think I was like 13 years old. And I got on a roller coaster with my sister, one of my older sister. Okay. We started getting up in the air, and of course, this thing started rounding up into me, and then some things started going like fast. I literally had, and I'm gonna describe this in a way where it won't be inappropriate. I had such a grip on my sister's shirt. I ended up ripping her shirt off while we was there, like literally off. And
Wow.
I never in my life been on roller coaster since then. Zero, never.
Wow. So
I
then that
can't
was
do
an
it.
indicator then. That's
Yeah,
why I was asking about the roller coasters because because you go up high
yeah,
fast.
yeah,
And so that was a marker right there for
yeah.
sure.
I don't know why I'm like that. Some people can do it. They
Oh,
can.
I love roller coasters.
No.
Love them. In fact, what I did to oh my gosh, my sister, she was deathly afraid of them. And over there, I don't know if it was the Great America or whatever. They have these big roller coasters, and I talked her into it with her and her boyfriend. I'm like, oh, it's real easy. It doesn't, it's not that bad. You just go up and then you come down. And it's quick. Well, that was a lie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's climbing up this big hill as it's going, and my sister, she's behind me with her boyfriend, and she's starting to cry, and she's
Wow.
like, "This is really scary. I want to get off. I want to get off." And she starts screaming that, and her boyfriend's next to her. He's got his arm around her, to try to comfort her. And we're going to the top, and we got to the top, and she was screaming at me,
Wow.
and we started going down the descent, and then I didn't hear her anymore. And I look behind me and I look at her. She passed out.
I believe that.
She passed out. I look behind and her neck is flapping
I
this way.
believe that.
And we got off that roller coaster and she was like white as a sheet.
I believe that.
And I felt bad, but it was kind of funny at the time. I
Yeah,
mean, just being the juvenile that I was.
yeah,
And she's all, I can't believe you said it wasn't that bad. I go, no, it's an easy one. Look at
yeah,
that one over there. That one's way bad.
yeah,
She didn't
yeah.
think that was funny, but
No,
I was like, wow. I didn't think
yeah.
anybody could pass out from something like that.
100%, 1,000,000%. And that's why I
And
told you
I was like, wow, this is really a thing.
it
It's like, how
is.
could you be afraid of this?
It is.
So that was my first touch of somebody really being afraid of something, a
Yeah,
phobia, and passing out because of it.
yeah,
Having that physical
yeah,
reaction.
yes,
Um, it was shocking to me, but
yeah.
because I don't understand it. But it's a real thing.
It
It is
is.
definitely a real thing.
It is 1,000,000% a real thing. That's why I told that baseball game. I knew. I literally got stuck. I knew if I wouldn't have got out of there, I knew I would have passed out. I 100% would have passed out. No question in my mind.
So
No question.
that must limit you then.
That's what it does. There's a lot of things I refuse to do. I can't do, like for example, go on a cruise. One year, my brother wanted to go on a cruise for his birthday. I couldn't do it. I told him, I said, you can go on a cruise, but I cannot go with you. Because every year we always try to do something together for his birthday. I couldn't do it.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine trying having a panic attack out
I,
there? You're
I,
stuck.
I couldn't do it. He was trying his best to talk me in. I said, if I went on a cruise, you are not going to enjoy yourself at all. You're going to be that whole time taking care of me, making sure I'm okay. Because I know me, I know my body, I know. I won't be able to enjoy myself. Just going
So,
out there on the deck in the
so,
middle of all this body of water, that's instant panic attack.
so how do you fly?
Flying I've gotten a lot better with. I don't fly as much, but I used to have a fear of flying. The first
Because I
like
was
the
thinking the heights. The height.
right, right. But the thing is, flying is it's enclosed.
So you're control. It's a controlled environment, so you're better.
Exactly. But
Okay.
not in the beginning though. Like maybe the first 3 or 4 times I got on an airplane, I would get sick, real sick, and just when an airplane takes off or go up and it just that feeling and even like now when I got an airplane, I have to drink what do you call that? What is that drink?
For your stomach not to get upset.
Yes, what is that drink? I have to not
I
only
I was gonna say Tums, Pepto Bismol.
It's a
That
soda. It's
it's
ginger
yeah,
ale.
travel.
Ginger
Yeah,
ale. I
ginger
have to
ale.
drink a ginger ale for it to help me. Every time I get on a plane, before I even get on a plane, I go to one of those stores and buy a ginger ale. 100% every I have to do it. And now when a plane takes off and land, it's that still there initially, but it's not as bad. It's that I have to brace myself you know, and then maybe about like a minute it'll go away. But the initial is still there.
So the things that work for you
Right.
with all
Oh,
these things
100%.
happening.
Yeah.
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 So I mean that's got to be a huge thing, especially if it's something that you're trying, like especially flying, because it saves so
Yeah.
much driving time. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine having that much anxiety.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So do you have a like a care packet or something that like if this is going to happen, this is my to go. This is where I know that'll help me, like your ginger ale. That do you travel with ginger ale or
Uh,
something of that
Only
sort?
when I'm flying. I know that my routine is I'm gonna buy that and drink that before I get on the plane.
So
100%.
so do you think it's to help you with the physical with your stomach,
Honestly,
or
Danny,
is
it's
or is it like your
bo-
little
both.
okay?
But 100% both. Exactly. So I'd say both. Um,
Because I know
I
they have like Dramamine, where it
oh,
helps you with the movement.
yeah,
It's a medication that helps you, like if you get seasick or something like that.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you've ever tried anything like that, because I know that helps
W-
with a lot of people.
Well, the reason how I learned that trick was because when I first moved to California, I moved to California, sorry. When I first flew to California, because I flew down here in February of the year I moved here. And when I flew here, that's when I realized, okay, when I say I got so sick, it was horrible. Okay, throwing up, everything. It was just the worst experience. And so I ended up, because I was coming to see like some older people from my church and stuff, and I was telling the wife about it, and she said, "Oh, Jesse, you need some." She gave me some ginger ale pills, whatever that was,
Oh,
like some something with like ginger ale pills and stuff. And she said this would help you when you take this before you go on a plane, and that actually helped a little bit, not a lot, okay, just a
but it was a
little bit.
coping. It was a little
Mhm.
bit of coping.
A
Because the
little
thing
bit,
is, when people have all these anxieties
yeah,
and they don't try anything to help cope
right,
with the
right,
situation so they can move forward, they just get stuck.
yeah,
Kind of like get stuck in the box. At least you're trying to see what you can do to get out of
right,
that box.
exactly.
Um, I mean, a lot of times what I've seen with people that I've tried to assist with different things, when they get stuck, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
Uh, if they're not able to take that little step, at least you know what's going to work for you to keep moving in that direction.
exactly.
I really feel bad for the people that get stuck,
Hmm.
and especially in their situations where they have to do something.
Yeah, yeah,
They have to do something. I mean,
yeah.
I know a lot of people that had that with going to the dentist. they
Yeah.
start having an anxiety attack. One of
Yeah.
my stepsons, he could not go.
Hmm.
So what we did was we, talked to his doctor to see if there was something that we could have him take beforehand
Yeah.
because he was so afraid and his mouth was
Mhm.
so bad.
Yeah.
And so we were able to get some kind of pill to help him with that.
Hmm.
But it took a long time for him to even go in that route. And by the time that happened, all his teeth were rotten,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is horrible. But
Yeah.
to be that afraid, but you got this mouth pain and you can't do anything about it because your anxiety.
Yeah. That happened with me one year. I'm not as bad now with dentists, but I had a fear of going there too. As a matter of fact, I ended up having to take off. We're not here where we work, but at a previous employer, me and the higher up son, he worked there. We were like very close, like, as far as work is concerned. And I needed to go get my wisdom tooth pulled. And Diana, I just, it was bothering me so bad. And I let it get worse and worse and worse and worse because I had a fear going to the dentist. It's a true story. And so she, because when you get your tooth pulled, they have to, if they like give you some
They
anesthetics or
knock you
whatever.
out.
Right,
They
right.
knock you out.
You have to have somebody to drive you back. And I ended up have she pretty much let her son go with me. He took off work to take me there. And I had so much fear on the way there. This boy literally, first of all, I was 30 minutes late for my appointment because he he had to talk me into going inside the building, number one. And
Wow.
I just, I want to reschedule it. And he's like, bro, no, you're here and you don't get it done now. And he did good by coaching me into that because he was like, look, I took, my paid time off to come here and support you. And like, come on, let's get it done. And so he went in there with me. And of course, he filled out all the paperwork and stuff. And then it was just, and then the staff there, I want to give them kudos because they saw what was going on with me, and they kind of talked me through. And so it's going to be okay, and you're going to have this person there, and da 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 da. But they had to talk me into going to the back, okay? So I had to somebody had to talk me into going in the building. This guy had to talk me into going to the back. So I get back there. As soon as I sit in the chair, just everything just rewind and start over again. And so I forgot what you call this. It wasn't a dentist, but dentist hygienist. She came in there. She had to talk to me because my friend couldn't go back there with me. She talked
Right.
to me, and I was like, "Well, can you just, let me see my friend? Can you just, blah 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 blah." They did allow him to come to the back and just kind of, talk to me, and then he left out. And the dentist came. Then I mean, it was I'm telling you, it's a whole process. It was a process because even I was in that chair, I was still think like, y'all not finna pull, no, you're not finna do this. But even though I had all this pain going on, right? And so they ended up, oh, and then by the way, I'm scared of needles too, by the way.
Oh,
So, so I had a lot going on this day, right?
you're
And
better off
so,
if you're blindfolded.
girl, it was all bad.
Oh,
And so he ended up, the dentist was excellent, excellent. The way he dealt with me, excellent. And so what's the dentist hygienist? They talking to me, and he's like, "Look, as soon as get this anesthetic, you're gonna pass out. Just count to five and whatever." And so I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on." Okay. And they was very patient, Diana. This whole process took about for me getting in, for me getting there for me getting in there, going to the back, and them actually knocking me out should have been maybe 10 to 15 minute process at the most. It was at least an hour and some,
oh my
easily,
goodness. Oh my
easily.
goodness.
But they
Wow.
were they were very patient with me.
And
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 we,
that they know that happens. So
yeah,
and so they know how to deal with that. And
yeah,
that's a key right there. Because if you have somebody that just kind of poo-poos you and say, "What
yeah,
what is wrong with you?"
yeah.
Just suck it up.
No, it ain't gonna
Just
work for
suck it
me.
up.
I'm
It's not
leaving.
gonna. It's what I always get really upset at people who say that or
Yeah,
judge.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, this isn't going for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
My brother suffers from anxieties, and his ex-wife used to say shit to him about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
You, everybody has their thing, and
Yeah.
this is causing anxiety. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, he just needs to man up. And it's like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with being a man. And I knew it bothered him that, somebody, especially your significant other, would say
Yeah.
that to you.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, he has a lot of anxieties, and I know that the dentist is a big thing. I can't even imagine. I'm surprised because when I got my wisdom teeth out, I had them all four at the same time. They
Yeah.
said, well, you don't have to do all four. I'm like,
You
I
don't.
just want it over with, just
Yeah.
because I didn't want to have to, because I had never been knocked out before.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, you've never been knocked out before. I'm like, no. And so they gave me some Valium.
Oh.
If they would have given you some Valium, so whenever you have to go see the dentist, I mean, I don't know if your doctor will do that for you, but my dentist at that time gave me Valium, and I'm like, I'm not going to take these drugs.
Yeah.
And he's all, you know what, Diana, just do that because you don't know what's going to happen. Because, I'd never been knocked out before. He goes, you got to have somebody drive you anyway. So just take a
Yeah.
couple Valium. Oh my gosh. I can see why everybody gets addicted to these drugs.
Yeah.
I still
Yep.
think about that. I'm like, oh, wow.
Wow.
Nothing is, and I was excited. I was happy.
Yeah.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
and I was just so calm. And in fact, when my mom passed away, I have a friend who has a supply of Valium, and he gave me some Valium, and he goes, "You might need this," and I'm like, "Oh dang, you know what? I'm gonna keep those in case there's another emergency because
Right.
that
Exactly.
stuff is good if I
Yeah.
needed it." I didn't take it during the funeral, but Valium, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's a
Yeah.
magic drug. It can be very addicting. I can see because I still think about, wow, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't have any anxiety, thank goodness, with the getting all four marked out. In fact, when I came to, I was trying to get out of the chair, and they had to hold me down. They're like, "Wait, wait, wait, wait! You're gonna fall down."
Yeah. Yeah.
And but it's amazing. It's an amazing drug.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you have to
Yeah.
do something, somebody else is driving, Valium.
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because when I was in a car accident a couple of years ago, they had to do schedule me to do some MRIs. And what I'm telling you is being 100% truthful with you. I have a major fear of claustrophobia. That's another thing.
Oh, those
Major.
CT scans. They
Oh
put
my
you in the
God.
tube. In the tube.
Oh yeah. So, but I knew that going into this. Okay, I knew because I'm looking at this machine, and so when you go in there, you gotta you can't have like metal, your phone, like you gotta take everything, out and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, just let me try it. Man, I got, they because you had to put the robe on, whatever. You lay down, and the guy talking me through. I'm like, he gave me these headphones that I can listen to, put on my ears, and gave me a selection of music listen to 'em. So I'm like, okay. And I told him, I said, look, I'm kind of freaking out right here. He said, oh no, it'll be fine. He was not as patient. He was not as aware.
He's trying to get his job done,
Pretty
and
much.
you're hindering him. And
Right.
you're hindering him.
Oh,
How
that's
dare you?
yeah, right. He trying to let's go. And Diana, I kid you not, because you have to be still, hold your hands to your side and all that. Girl, that man, and then he gave me this thing where I can press it for him to come back. Diana, I got up in there and just immediately hyperventilate. Like it was just all bad. Then when he got me out of there, I'm like, he tried to talk me into, no, this is a no. This is a no, no, no win for me. So I left. So they had to reschedule me again. Diana, they rescheduled me a total of 10 times.
Oh
Not
my
only did
goodness.
not only did they reschedule me a total of 10 times, they sent me down to Stockton too. Because down in Stockton, they have an open MRI. Okay. Now, what that means is that there's no covering. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna be a little better. No.
Really?
No, no, no,
Wow.
oh, not at all. The fact that, and I thought it was going to, in my mind, I envisioned, okay, because it says going to be open. You won't, feel like, you're closed in.
You're closed in, yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's going to be open and it's just going to be like huge, like a wide space. The only thing with the difference was it didn't have like that covering, but it didn't work. I could not do it 10 times. And my last two times they scheduled me to go to stock, and I did. And I to this day never got the MRI done. To this day,
Wow.
I couldn't
Wow.
do it.
Well, I mean, didn't any doctor say, you know what, how about if we give you something to
They
calm you
did.
down?
They did.
What did they give you?
They gave me some whatever medication it was, and you know what, Diana? Because the fear and anxiety was so strong, I never went and picked it up. I
Oh,
never went and picked it
so
up.
you don't, so you never tried it then?
No, not at all. Because in my head, I'm thinking like I'm just gonna freak out. That's what I'm thinking in my head. And because he was asking me like my medical history and stuff, and trying to see how much I needed, because he said, "Seems like you got a severe case of anxiety and fear when it comes to claustrophobia." I said, "Yes, I do." And so he prescribed it at the Walgreens down the street. I never went and picked it up. I promise you,
Wow.
never.
You know
Because
that really helps. I'm telling you.
yeah,
That really helps. I mean,
yeah,
I know with a friend of mine who had to have an MRI, it didn't work with her.
uh
The only
huh,
thing that would work is it was if her husband, they let her husband in there
yeah,
with one of the suits and he would just hold her foot and
yeah,
talk to her, even though
yeah,
her whole body was in there, but she's
yeah,
just weeping and crying the whole time.
yeah.
And she did that one time. She goes, I don't care. I don't need it. I'm not
hmm
doing this again.
Yeah,
Whatever's there is there. If it doesn't work from the other test that you do, I'm done.
yeah. Diana, that is a real thing. And honestly, I didn't even realize until we started doing this show how many fears and anxiety that I have. Well, Diana, this is by far was one of the best. So we didn't really get to the question, we just rolled it off. So I really, 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 really thank you. And I really enjoy just interviewing you and having these conversations because it's very informative. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a fabulous day.
Okay, thank you so much. And this is it for this edition of Mental Health Matters. If you would like a DVD copy of this show, if you would like to be a guest on our show, please dial 916 366 4600. Thank you.